welcome back to Delectable You, recipes for food and for life. Today, I have a little helper in the kitchen. This is my daughter Madison. She was born 4 months ago, and she decided she wanted to help us today. And what we're gonna do today is make an old favorite into something new and delicious. We are going to make a tomato chickpea pasta soup with a split pea quinoa twist. Since she's been born, as I'm sure any of you mothers watching can attest, there has been limited time to be able to cook healthy meals in the kitchen that don't take too long. This recipe takes care of that. It's really fast to make, it's very nutritious, it's packed full of protein, and it will keep you fuller longer so that you can get on about your busy day, whether you're a mom or you're a busy working professional or whatever your day holds. So let me put the baby down and let me show you what to do. All right, baby is in her swing and she's calm for now, so let's see how far we get. I've got 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil that have been heating up over medium heat. Now that it's warm, remember we don't add anything to cold oil. We're gonna take a large onion that I've diced, small dice, and we're just going to add them to the pot. Along with a tablespoon of dried thyme. That's about a tablespoon. Okay. Now just stir this all around and let's let these onions saute for about 5 minutes or until they're nice and translucent. All right, so the onions and the thyme are smelling up my kitchen. They're delicious. The onions are nice and transparent. So now I've got 6 cloves of garlic that I've roughly chopped, not too fine because I kind of like in my soup to get a big chunk of garlic in a bite. So it's just roughly chopped. We're just gonna add this in and stir it around, and basically you just want to saute this garlic for about 30 to 60 seconds or until you can start to smell the garlic, because garlic burns very easily. And I can already smell it. Okay, so now we're gonna take a can of plum tomatoes. This is a 28-ounce can, and we're gonna put the tomatoes whole into the pot with their juices. And you're just gonna take the tip of your spatula and you're gonna crush the tomatoes, more like cutting them really, into small pieces. And if your heat isn't hot enough yet, turn it up a little bit so it's at medium high, because what we wanna do is start to get the juices of the tomatoes simmering with the onions, and all the flavors can marry themselves together. I'm going to turn this up a little and just keep doing this with your spatula because you don't want giant plum tomatoes in 1 spoonful of soup. You want a little one. Okay, so I've mostly got these tomatoes into nice bite-sized pieces. I've got my heat up, I'm gonna let that simmer. But I'm also now going to put 2 cans of, there are 15.5-ounce cans of chickpeas in here. And I'm gonna stir this around, but now I'm gonna grab a potato masher and I'm going to crush half of the chickpeas. Now obviously there's no way to measure half of the chickpeas that you've crushed. Just use your best judgment. I trust you. Just smash them. Get your aggression out. You can smash some of the tomatoes while you're at it as well. Go. So just make sure that some of the chickpeas are left whole, but most of them are smashed together. And it's just gonna make a really, really nice texture for your soup. That seems to be about good to me. Whether it's 50% or 75% or 40%, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, it looks good. Okay, so now what we wanna do is we're gonna take a quart of vegetable broth. I have low sodium vegetable broth. And we're gonna put the whole quart in here and we're gonna turn the heat up to high. Because what we wanna do right now is bring this to boil so that we can add some pasta to the party. So let's add that in. And then to make it more liquidy but without too much more of the vegetable broth flavor, we've just got 4 cups of water. So put that in there too. Turn this up to high. Cover it until it starts boiling, and then we're gonna add some pasta. All right, we've got some boiling, we've got some boiling soup here. So I'm just gonna take this lid off, and now get yourself some pasta. You can either skip this step and not put any pasta at all, doesn't matter. You can, if you want to make it gluten-free, just get yourself some gluten-free pasta. I was just really craving rigatoni. I don't know if it's because of my Italian background and I was feeling nostalgic for my childhood, I don't know, but that's what I'm using. I'm using organic rigatoni. I'm using only a cup because I don't want this to be pasta soup. I want this to be tomato and chickpea and pasta and split pea and quinoa soup too. So let's just put this in there. And all you need to do, just stir this around, is let the soup cook for as long as the pasta needs to cook for. So it depends on the size of the pasta you use. This pasta needs 9 minutes, so that's what I'm gonna do. Just set the timer for 9 minutes. You might have 7 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you want, and you might want it al dente, or you might want it a little bit more well done. So that's it. That's all we need to do. So I'll see you when the pasta is done, and we'll add our last 2 ingredients. Actually, why don't we add some salt and pepper right now? We're gonna add, let's do 2 teaspoons of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. I was gonna do this at the end, but I actually would like the flavors to simmer together. The danger in doing the salt right now is that when you're cooking something down, the salt becomes more and more concentrated. So if you put too much salt at this stage, there's no way to make it less salty. But I trust myself. You decide when you want to put it in. I've got some boiling soup here. I'm just going to turn off the element, and my pasta is ready. The way to know that the pasta is ready is to take one of the pieces out and test it. I like mine al dente, so this one's a little al dente. Now, I'm gonna bring this over here for the purposes of the demonstration. You don't need to do this in your own kitchen. You can just leave it on the stove where it is. You will notice I have 2 things prepared. I've already got quinoa that I've made, keep it in the fridge, and I've already got split peas. I love this brand, the organic one from Whole Foods, but whatever you do, doesn't matter which brand you get, but get dried split peas and then make them yourself and keep them in the fridge. We're gonna add these to the soup. One of the things that's awesome though about these ingredients is I always have them in the fridge because I can add them to salads. I can just make a bowl and maybe saute some mushrooms and some kale, and then I've got a beautiful vegan, vegetable, protein-packed, nutrient-dense bowl to have. So just my 2 cents worth. In order to finish off this soup, you're just gonna take your bowl and put however much soup you want in it. You might want to taste it for seasoning to see if maybe you need a little bit more salt, maybe you need a little more pepper, maybe you need some more thyme or some other spice that you want. Now, the reason I'm doing this at the end, the quinoa and the split pea, is because I want you to be able to control the carbohydrate content you put in and the protein content you put in. So, and then this way they don't, overcook in the soup. So I'm just gonna put, let's say, 3 tablespoons of quinoa, and I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons of my split peas, and I'm just gonna stir it around, and that is it. That is your chickpea tomato soup with a quinoa split pea twist. Super healthy, it's vegetarian, it's vegan, it can be gluten-free. If you're not vegan, you don't care, put a little bit of Parmesan cheese to finish it off. It's super good. Or put some vegan Parmesan cheese, whatever you want. That's it. So for all of you busy people out there, this recipe is gonna be your new lifesaver. Enjoy it as much as I do. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. This has been Lauren with Delectable You, and I will see you again next time.